tell people, use all your senses. Use your sight, use your hands, use your sense of smell and taste all the time through your dish. I think people tend to, if you follow a recipe slavishly, you will always go wrong. It's funny, with my show, I get people writing in quite often saying, oh, you told me to stir fry that thing for 1 minute in the pan and it was completely incinerated. And then I kind of think, so you watched it get incinerated? And you didn't think maybe to turn the heat off? So yeah, obviously, use your instincts.
Recipes are a guideline.
Yes.
That's the thing, if you go off the track of the recipe and do something a little bit different, you may create a whole new recipe.
Yeah. I find mistakes often I learn a lot from.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes when, you do have to improvise and you wind up finding a better method of doing things. But you can't improvise with baking unless you're a really good baker. So you're not just giving people slightly different flavours, but kind of a new experience and, how they're eating.
I want them to pretty much make their own salad. I'm going to lay everything onto the plate, and I want them to create their own salad pretty much. Okay, just waiting for that to boil there. Get this mess out of the way.
Who's a really messy cook at home? I'm trying to get better, but I'm so passionate. No, I'm just messy.
You learn from an early age in a kitchen to be neat and tidy. If you're not, you do get roused on. And it's not nice.
It is annoying. I have learnt the hard way. When you're doing a really delicate dish, if you don't clean your board all the time, you have little herbs stuck to it and, that aren't meant to have the herbs on it. So, just make a habit of cleaning your board down every time you've used it.
Okay.
Says she.
This one's not going hard enough. I think that is on high. That's alright, they should be done by the time we're ready to serve.
I'm wondering if we could improvise and you're blanching those. Oh no, you want to do the eggs in there. Okay, no, we can't. Okay, got it. No. Don't worry.
That's right, we'll get there in the end.
Yes.
So
we're just going to bring that to the boil.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter how many eggs you've got in there, or it's the same time?
The less you put in, the more accurate your time will be, because the more you put in, the more the temperature of the actual water is going to drop, and the longer it's going to take to get back up to temperature.
Yes.
So your eggs will either be undercooked or overcooked. They're not the exact way that you want them cooked. So I'm going to set my timer for 2 minutes, 14 seconds.
There's so many methods for boiling eggs. Some people bring it to boil, take it off the stove, put the lid on it, put the eggs in there, put the lid on it, wait 6 minutes, or some people bring it to boil, some people boil then put the egg in. It's so complicated just for a little egg. But it's one of those elusive things, the perfect egg.
It is.
Still not that great at it. My partner's
not all that easy, to be honest.
Yeah, even when you're pro?
Especially, you learn through the years. But especially for breakfast, I'm sure most of you have had a hard poached egg when you ordered it soft.
Yes.
I know I've had plenty when I go out to restaurants.
Yeah,
and it's not nice.
No.
When you just want especially like an Eggs Benedict, you want your egg yolk
to pour
out.
Yeah,
unless you prefer the hard yolk.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Okay, so this is coming up now. Yep, that's fine. Thank you. So I'm just going to do 3 here today.
Okay.
Little chocolate eggs, those quail eggs.
Lovely. And you really want to be careful not to just drop the egg in, because if you drop the egg, it's going to split the shell, and the water is actually going to seep into the egg, and it's going to cook the inside, and that's not what you want. So.
Also, the freshness of your eggs is a factor. If you want to peel your eggs for whatever reason and you want a perfect result, fresh eggs are actually not the way. If they're really fresh, you'll find the eggs are very... have you ever peeled an egg and you go, what's going on here? And it's really sticking to the shell. The outer layer of the white sticks to the shell. It's because the egg's really fresh. So you just need to let it rest for a couple of days.
Yep. So I've just got some ice water. As soon as that timer goes off, we'll spoon them into the ice water. And after the ice water, a little trick that I've learned over the years, you put them in the ice water for about a minute or two just to chill them down, and then straight into vinegar. Straight vinegar, pretty much, it breaks down the cells in the actual shell, and you can almost just peel the shell straight off. It's so easy.
Wow,
rather than trying to
great chef's
pick with
trick.
your fingernail at the egg, and then it just doesn't look very nice, especially
And there's
for
like
presentation.
one minuscule bit of shell stuck to
Yes.
one bit, and it's
Yep.
very annoying.
You can almost just peel it straight
Continuously.
off. Yep.
Great.
So as soon as those eggs actually come out, I'm going to blanch these green beans. Just these fresh green beans we got in yesterday from our fruit and veg supplier. And then I'm going to put those into the ice water as well.
Ben, how important is it to be, in communicado with your suppliers and, having a good relationship with them?
That is the key to a good restaurant, especially on a restaurant like Aquitaine that thrives on that fresh produce. If you don't call your supplier on the day and he has something lovely that you want to put on the menu that day, if you don't call him, you're not going to know about it.
Correct.
It's always important to stay in contact with every supplier, not just your fruit and veg supplier, but especially fruit and veg, because they always have little knickknacks that they might pick out of their ground that day.
Yeah, and there is experimenting as well, I
Yep.
find growers.
Yep. I've got quite a nice garden at home at the moment. I'm growing some, as I said, strawberries, lots of different carrots, and some
Beautiful.
turnips and radish as well.
Yeah, I find I think it's really it's great to get that dialogue going between restaurants and chefs and
Yep.
producers, and it's definitely happening a lot more because everyone's all about seasonality now. We've
Yep.
cottoned on to that, which is really great. It's really funny because often I'll meet producers that go, "Oh, Chloe, what do you think of this stuff? I don't know what it's for. Just someone told me Asians use it." And so, when you have that dialogue, they're like, "Oh, cool," and they know how to use it, and then they know how to sell it. So it's a
Yep.
really nice thing to, give each other a hand,
Yep.
educating each other.
So I've just got those quail eggs cooling down now. So I'm just going to put these green beans in that simmering water there. 2 minutes, that's it. The longer you boil your vegetables, obviously the more they overcook, the more they lose their colour and all their nutrients. So
yeah.
it's more important to keep them al dente.
Yes.
Even a little bit under that.
Yeah, I like mine really crunchy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just pour hot water over mine. I don't even...
Not in the microwave.
No. I don't cook in the microwave, Ben. I already told you.
Alright. So
I think that's one thing we don't do enough at home. We throw away lots of things that we should be keeping in the food. And that's why the whole idea of deglazing a pan is, used so much in French cooking. So once you've fried off the meat, always deglaze a pan so that all the beautiful caramelized bits on the bottom, you don't lose that. You put it back into your stew or make a sauce with it or do something with it. You never throw anything away. And that is what creates flavour. So all the foundations of flavour start getting built from layering.
do you want to taste that for me? It's really quite intense.
Yeah. And that's beautiful. And you can definitely taste those anchovies in there as well.
I don't think that needs anything, because all
No,
I'm
that's
going to do.
beautiful. So you're just adding a little bit more complexity with that, with the anchovy oil in there.
Yep. It's quite a nice consistency. So what I'm going to do here is just straight over the top that lettuce, and it's going to seep inside those layers of lettuce. So every mouthful will have that nice intense.
That is so
flavour.
clever. And then all the dressing's just gone into all those little furrows in the lettuce.
Yep.
So when you cut it open, actually everything's seasoned really well.
Yep.
Sometimes when the lettuce leaves are just kind of all over the place. Not each
And
piece
yeah,
is
and
covered
you
in
don't-
dressing.
Exactly, you don't get them all covered.
Yeah, that's
So you
beautiful.
can see here, Flo, that these eggs.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
They've got loads of little bubbles.
Yep.
And
That's what we're aiming for.
crazy.
That outer layer is going to come off.
Come
as well.
off. So all those little spots on that, can you see? If I just go like this, it's taking all the little spots off. Can I peel one?
See that, guys? It almost just peels straight off, rather than in each little shard of shell. Okay.
Oh,
So there's
put
one.
a little thing, a little ding in it. Yeah, that's amazing. Does that work with
Normal eggs,
Yeah.
other legs? Yes, it does. It's more effective with the quail eggs because they're nice and small.
amazing?
Okay, lovely. Well done. So I'll just finish this one off.
They do taste a little bit different, don't they, quail eggs? Because people always ask, do they taste quite different?
Slightly more, I think more, a little bit sweeter as well. Almost, pretty much anything that you get that's in a smaller size is that little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll leave the quail eggs till last. That's the last thing that we will actually put on. Okay. So I think we'll get these potatoes out.
Yep.
Yeah. Just still crisp in the middle. Now all that's left to do, we've done all the cooking, is present onto the plate.
That water from the potatoes smells delicious.
It is lovely. Okay, so these green beans are nice and cool now. As you can see, they're just so vibrant and green. So what I'm going to do, I think, I'll just chop them in half. I'm just going to lay them on, just like so. Just like that. And potato.
You're just going to slice those.
Yep.
Beautiful. And you can use any potato, can't you?
You really can, yeah. I've chosen this chat potato because they're nice and petite.
Yeah.
The effect I'm aiming for here is to, as I said, really almost make your own salad. You could serve a much bigger serve of this in, say, like a function or at home or a barbecue, you know. You'd have a long platter, exactly how I've done it here. Perfect for a family outing or a barbecue.
Plating's starting to change again, isn't it? Because for a while there, everyone really got into fancy plating. Everyone was watching too much MasterChef and, you know, getting a bit carried away. But now it's kind of gone back to just kind of tidy. Just want it to look tidy. Don't get too carried away.
Yep.
You don't want anything looking too symmetrical. It has to look casual, like you can't just throw it on the plate. Don't want it to look too precious.
So what I've got here is just some nice little heirloom cherry tomatoes.
Beautiful.
Some nice different colours.
Yeah, I love those oxblood ones. They're so delicious.
Some green ones, some yellow ones. I'm just going to lay those straight over the top.
It's really important to eat colours when you're cooking. I always think about that when I'm making food for the night. I'm like, colour's missing. Because Mother Nature's given us a little, you know, colour-coded things for us. So, you know, eat a variety of colours.
Yep.
Nutritionally, you're covering your bases, which is really good.
Right, and here I've got some Kalamata olives. We received them in the restaurant in a salty brine.
Mm-hmm.
So all I've done, I've just washed all that saltiness off, and I actually smoked them last night.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and I left them in those smoking juices. So if you actually, if you want to try one, I just want you to try it, and it's just an instant flavour hit.
Oh, wow.
So
That
intense.
is amazing.
Yep.
Really intense. Very smoky, salty.
Yep. They wouldn't, in
Kalamata.
France, they wouldn't traditionally do that. They just use the Niçois olives, which is a type you get in the actual province of Nice. But I just wanted to put a little twist on things for you and smoke these. So you're actually going to get a tasting of everything I've done here on the plate, just in a little spoon.